Good evening, East Alabama. Welcome into the locker room on this Tuesday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. Hey, I hope you all had a great Labor Day yesterday. We enjoyed the day off here at East Alabama Now, but we are back tonight, and we are going to continue on throughout the week with the most up-to-date local news right here in East Alabama. Also, we have highlights coming up throughout the week. Today, we are going to have a great show because it is officially football season for the youth kids. That's right. Starting this weekend will be the first week of the regular season for the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics football kickoff season, and we're going to have highlights this weekend that we'll have next week. We typically start our Mondays with Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics highlights, but we were off yesterday. The season starts this week, so I thought today we would preview all the games that are taking place this weekend and break them down for you. Hey, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the locker room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also, we have our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your local weather, and I believe John Holder is also stepping in for sports tonight. George Smith will be back with us soon, so make sure you watch East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. All right, we start our show just about every single day with our EAN Scoreboard, so let's get right into our EAN Scoreboard for today. Let's start. We're going to be talking a lot about the Jacksonville Golden Eagles volleyball team. I got a text message from Coach Amber Russell this weekend who was informing me on how her team did this weekend. Well, her volleyball team reached the gold bracket championship of the Albertville Invitational. This past weekend, they played in Albertville and finished second place overall. Let's take a look at some of the competition. Jacksonville defeated Cherokee County in 3 sets. Jacksonville won the first set 25-18, dropped the second set 25-22, and won the third set 15-11. Jacksonville beat North Jackson this weekend 25-21 and 25-15 to sweep them in 2 sets. Jacksonville beat the Fife Red Devils in 2 sets as they beat them 25-21, 25-12. Jacksonville beat Springville in 2 sets 25-23 and 25-19. Jacksonville fell to Albertville in pole play in 2 sets as they lost 18-25 and 25-17. And then they faced Albertville again in the gold bracket championship game. They did take a set, took the first set from them, but ended up dropping it as they lost, of course, in 3 sets, not 2. I apologize. It says 2. One of them should be 3. They dropped the second one in the third set as they won the first set 26-24, dropped the second set 25-12, and dropped the third set 15-7. And it was not a pleasant championship game for Amber Russell's team. Sydney Soriano got hurt, and that definitely hurt Jacksonville. Speaking of Sydney Soriano, this past weekend she had 9 aces, 2 kills, 65 assists, 3 blocks, and 6 digs. Cameron Stone had 4 aces, 22 kills, 12 blocks, 12 digs. Maya Swain had 3 aces, 9 kills, 14 blocks, and 2 digs. Also, Nyla Holt had 13 kills, 3 aces, 1 block, and 1 dig. Chloe Henderson had 1 kill, 4 aces, 28 digs. Alexis Phillips had 3 aces, 11 kills, 2 blocks, 10 digs. And Reese Rollins had 1 ace, 5 kills, 4 blocks, and 2 digs, as Jacksonville overall went 4-2 on the weekend. Speaking of the Albertville tournament, another team that was up at Albertville was the Donahoe Falcons, Coach Anna Taylor's team. And the Donahoe Falcons this past weekend went 2-2 in Albertville. They also played in the gold bracket. They fell to Springville 25-16 and 25-21, but they beat Ramsey in 2 sets, 25-20 and 25-19. They defeated Geraldine in 2 sets, 25-23 and 25-21. And then Donahoe fell to Albertville in 3 sets. They won the first set 25-18, lost the second set 25-18, and third set 16-14. Donahoe's top performers were Kate Williman, who had 22 kills, 4 assists, 4 aces, and 34 digs for the Falcons. Sam Wakefield had 30 kills, 4 assists, 12 aces, 37 digs, and 3 blocks. Riles Jones had 14 kills, 3 digs, 5 blocks. Callie Taylor had 6 kills, 68 assists, 6 aces, and 35 digs. Ava Michaels had 4 kills, 1 assist, 10 digs. Bentley Palman had 4 assists and 32 digs. Chloe Melton had 2 kills, 2 aces, 4 digs. Alana Maldonado had 12 kills, 4 digs, 2 blocks. Lindsey Brewer had 1 assist, 1 ace, and 4 digs. And Anna Kate Whitson had 1 assist and 14 digs as the Donahoe Falcons went 2-2 on the weekend up in Albertville at the Albertville tournament. Now let's talk some cross-country action from this past weekend. Let's start with the boys. Well, it was the Oxford's Waffle House Yellow Jacket Invitational, And Southside's Evan Christopher led the way for the boys. He finished first place out of 225 boys. He ran a time of 16 minutes and 20 seconds, which would earn him enough for first place. Overall for the boys, Lincoln won the boys team championship. They edged Oxford with 53 points compared to the Yellow Jackets, 69 points. But you see right there, overall, Southside's Evan Christopher was first place out of 225 runners. Now let's take a look at the girls, because we had an Oxford Yellow Jacket represent well. That is Emerson Maniscalco from Oxford. And Emerson had a great weekend. She finished first place herself out of, how many runners did she finish first place of? Out of 160. That's pretty impressive for Emerson Maniscalco. And I got to tell you what, not only did she finish first place, she ran a time of 20 minutes and 50 seconds. That is pretty impressive right there. Overall for the girls, Southside pretty much took care of business. They had 26 points, which was leader. Second place was Douglas at 111. Almost a 100-point difference in terms of first place and second place. It was all Southside girls, as the Southside girls took care of business, and they got first place. So on the boys, again, it was Lincoln. In the girls, it was Southside. But you see Emerson Maniscalco right there, who got first place, representing the Oxford Yellow Jackets in their own cross-country race meet. It was a great weekend for them. And looking forward to all of what Emerson's going to do this season, because she is going to represent, I think, Oxford in a very, very positive way. I think she's obviously, her and Madden Kahn, White Plains, are two of the top runners in this area. Probably two of the top runners, you could argue, across the state of Alabama, I believe, wholeheartedly. If both of these ladies stay healthy and are running their best race, they're going to be hard to handle in both of the respective classifications. So that's our EAN scoreboard for today. That's going to start the action. Now here's what we're going to do. In our next segment, we're going to break down the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics small division games that are taking place this weekend. Then in our final segment, we're going to take a look at the big division games. So don't go away. We continue on this Tuesday afternoon right here on the Locker Room on East Alabama Now.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
We are back on the Locker Room on this Tuesday afternoon. We are talking Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Youth Football Week 1, which is starting this week. In this segment, we're going to preview all of the small division games. We will have Tyler Schmidt at the field getting some highlights this weekend of White Plains and Welborn. But if you're not at the White Plains and Welborn game, maybe go to Alexandria, Ohatchee, Weaver, anywhere else. You can send us highlights, guys. All you got to do is email us at our EAN sports23@gmail.com or message our East Alabama Now page right here. Whether it's football, cheerleading, anything, you send us the highlights. We'll be more than glad to use it. My only request is if you do highlights, make sure your phone is turned sideways. We can't accept up and down, but we can accept sideways, so make sure that your highlights are sideways. All right, we're going to break down all the games. We're going to break down how these teams did last season, what to expect this season. And the first game we're going to talk about is the one that we're going to have highlights of this weekend, and that is the Walter Welborn Panthers going to White Plains. Welborn and White Plains, the sophomores will kick off at 9 a.m. on the dot. And then at 10:30 a.m., the juniors will take the field. And at 12 p.m., the seniors will take the field. Let's talk about these two teams. Well, last season, let's start with the sophomores. Last season, White Plains sophomores went 0-6 in division. That was against small team competition. Welborn went 1-5. So these two teams finished at the bottom of the sophomore division. White Plains did finish as the silver runner-up. They fell to Ohatchee 20-6. That's where their season came to an end. Welborn sophomores lost in the silver playoffs to, well, the team they're playing this week, White Plains. These two teams met in the silver playoff a year ago, and White Plains, although they went 0-6 in regular season, they got revenge on Welborn. Welborn won the regular season meeting. White Plains beat them in the playoffs 12-0. These two teams meet again for the first time since that silver bracket game. The sophomores kick off at 9 o'clock. Hey, how about the juniors? How about White Plains last year? They went 1-5 in division. Welborn went 3-3. Welborn's Jonathan Screws, head coach, good friend of mine. Hey, by the way, I do want to give a shout out to my man DJ Roden. I did this before. His son's playing for White Plains. I'm not sure if he's on the sophomore or junior team, but he's going to be a beast on the field. So I want to give a shout out to my man DJ Roden and his White Plains Wildcats. And hey, by the way, White Plains Youth Program is ran by some great guys, great coaches as well. So I really like White Plains and think we're going to see a lot of improvement from them this year. But for their junior team, it is going to be a tough game against Welborn. Welborn returns some good players, Hayden Ford being one of those. They have some skill. Last year, White Plains finished as the silver runner-up after falling 26-20 in overtime to Piedmont. Welborn lost in the gold playoffs, so they did make the gold playoffs, Jonathan Screws' team did, and they fell to Ohatchee 27-9. Ohatchee ended up winning the junior division. Welborn fell to them 27-9. Let's move to the seniors in 2023. It was a great season for the White Plains seniors. They went 4-2 in division. Wormy Haynes, I believe he's in his 55th year coaching youth football at Welborn. His team went 2-4 last year, but their numbers are the highest they've been since COVID. Now, White Plains seniors lost in the gold playoffs to Ohatchee last year, 31-15. Ohatchee ended up getting runner-up overall in the gold bracket. Welborn ended up winning the silver championship with a 20-6 win over Pleasant Valley. Welborn and White Plains this weekend. Sophomores 9 a.m., juniors 10:30, seniors at 12. Next group we're going to talk about is the Sacs Wildcats and the Piedmont Bulldogs. Now, they're sophomores again, same times, 9 a.m., juniors at 10:30, seniors at 12 p.m. My brother Dalton Rozelle, got to give a shout out to him. He coaches the senior team for Sacs, gave up the junior team. He's going to be coaching just the senior group, and looking forward to seeing what they do. Also want to give a little shout out to David and Eli Rozelle, my little nephews that play for Sacs. I'm hoping for success, but it is going to be tough for Sacs this weekend against Piedmont. Let's start with the sophomores, though. Last year, it was a really good season for Sacs and Piedmont sophomores. Sacs went 5-1 in division. Piedmont went 6-0 in division. Both of these teams met each other in the gold championship game, where Piedmont won that game over Sacs 14-0. So this is the first time these two teams are meeting since that championship game last season. For the juniors in 2023, Sacs went 3-3 in division. Piedmont went 3-3 in division. Sacs did make the gold playoffs, but they lost to Weaver 27-14. Weaver ended up getting the runner-up in the gold bracket juniors. Piedmont defeated White Plains 26-20 in overtime to win the silver championship. So they ended up making the silver. Now, for the seniors, last year it was a tough year for Sacs. They really struggled. They went 1-5 in division. The only win they had was over Pleasant Valley in the regular season. Then they faced Pleasant Valley the next week in the silver playoffs and lost to them 6-0. Now, for Piedmont, they went 6-0 last season. Coach Hansen did a great job with that team. Got to give a shout out to my guy, Coach Hansen. Give a shout out to Coach Bragg, who coaches the wrestling team. His son was playing last year, and they ended up winning the gold championship as they defeated Ohatchee 20-6. And I think also Isaiah Pinto, going to give a shout out to him. His brother, obviously, Raleigh Pinto, is on the high school team doing big things, but Isaiah was a big player for this team a year ago, and he's going to do great things throughout the upcoming years, and I believe following his brother's footsteps. So I want to give a couple shout outs there. But going to be a great game between Sacs and Piedmont. All right, next one we're going to talk about is Mumford and Weaver. One interesting thing is Mumford was in the large division last year. They added Cherokee County and Hooks Bluff, so Mumford will move down to the small school division, and we'll see how they do. Their sophomores will start at 9 a.m. against Weaver, juniors at 10:30, seniors at 12 p.m. And let's talk about 2023. Mumford went 0-6 in division for the sophomores. Weaver sophomores went 3-3. Mumford lost in the silver playoffs to Lincoln 19-7. Weaver lost in the gold playoffs to Sacs, who ended up making the championship game runner-up 7-6. That was a tight game. In the junior division in 2023, Mumford went 2-4 in division. Weaver went 5-1. Mumford did win the silver championship. They defeated Oxford 42-14. Weaver finished as the runner-up in the gold championship. They lost to Ohatchee 25-0, and the scoreboard was cut off. For the seniors in 2023, Mumford went 0-6 in division, and Weaver went 3-3. Mumford lost in the silver playoffs to Lincoln. They got shut out 25-0. The scoreboard got shut off. Weaver lost in the gold playoffs to Piedmont. They also got shut out 25-0. The scoreboard was cut off. But one interesting thing about Weaver is their seniors and juniors and sophomores all did make the gold playoffs, which meant that it was a very successful regular season for all of them. I think you need to keep an eye on Weaver. Again, they're going to be talented. Going to be interesting to see how Mumford does this year, dropping from the large division to the small division. All right, and the final small division matchup for this weekend is the Pleasant Valley Raiders traveling to the Creek Bank to face Ohatchee. Sophomores at 9 a.m., juniors at 10:30 a.m., and seniors at 12. Of course, Pleasant Valley sophomores last year went 3-3 in division. Ohatchee went 3-3 in division. Pleasant Valley lost in the gold playoffs to Piedmont 20-0. Ohatchee ended up winning the silver championship. They defeated White Plains 20-6. It was a great year for Ohatchee. It was a bad year for Pleasant Valley in the junior division. Pleasant Valley went 0-6 in the junior division last year. Ohatchee went 6-0. Pleasant Valley lost in the silver playoffs to White Plains 7-6. Ohatchee won the gold championship. They beat Weaver 25-0 and cut the scoreboard off like we talked about. For the senior group, let's talk about the seniors. And last year, again, great year for the Ohatchee Indians, bad year for Pleasant Valley. In 2023, Pleasant Valley seniors went 0-6 in the division. Ohatchee went 5-1. Pleasant Valley finished as the silver runner-up after losing to Welborn 20-6, and Ohatchee finished as the gold runner-up after losing to Piedmont 20-6. But the sophomores will start at 9 a.m., juniors at 10:30 a.m., and the seniors will be at 12 p.m. as Pleasant Valley and Ohatchee will go head-to-head. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk Anniston, Alexandria, Oxford, Jacksonville. Cherokee County's got the week off, and Hokes Bluff and Lincoln are in action. We're going to preview the big school division games for this week. Don't go away. We'll be right back as we continue on with our coverage of Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics. I'm Namath Pitts, and you're watching The Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back on The Locker Room on this Tuesday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. Before we get back into our action of the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Week 1 games, we're going to transition to the big school division. I want to remind you guys, you can send us highlights. Look, all you got to do is send us an email at eansports23@gmail.com or send us a Facebook message right here at East Alabama Now. We love highlights. If you get highlights, all we ask is that you record sideways, not up and down. Send us pictures, whether it's cheerleading, dance line. Hey, one of my favorite things last year, Jacksonville, they had majorettes, dance line, the whole shebang. I mean, it was very impressive. I think they were the only one I saw that had that, by the way, too. But we want everybody, not just football, but cheerleading and dance as well. Of course, we're going to cover the cheer competition later this year, but you can send us anything by emailing us or just Facebook messengers right here. And again, it all starts with hitting that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss The Locker Room and so that you don't miss East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your local weather. And I believe Jordan Smith is dealing with some sickness, so John Holder in doing sports. And by the way, John Holder's breakfast forecast is every morning, so make sure you check that out. All right, let's get into probably one of the biggest games of the weekend, and it is the Anniston Bulldogs and the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Let's talk about these two programs. They will play at Alexandria. Sophomores will start at 9 a.m., juniors 10:30 a.m., and then the seniors at 12 p.m. And then it's going to be a good one. Last year for the sophomores, Anniston went 5-1 in the division. Alexandria went 2-4. Anniston finished as gold runner-up. They lost to Jacksonville in the Gold Championship 20-19. Alexandria finished as silver runner-up. They lost to Lincoln 12-6 in overtime. Also in the junior division, last year Anniston went 4-2. They had a great season. And then also Alexandria went 5-1, which was a great season for them. Shout out to my guy Wiley Finley, who was the quarterback for the junior team last year, moving up to the seniors. Anniston lost in the gold playoffs to Alexandria 7-6. So these two teams met in the playoffs, and it was Alexandria that got to win 7-6 to punch their ticket in the championship game. Alexandria finished as the gold runner-up after losing to Jacksonville 26-6 in the championship game. So this will be the first time these two teams have met since Alexandria ended Anniston's season a year ago. In the senior group, Anniston went 5-1 last year in division. Alexandria went 6-0. Both of these teams met in the gold championship game, and Alexandria rode Ashton Bruner as far as they could go, and it got them a 24-12 win. Ashton Bruner is gone now, though, so who is Alexandria going to have to step in and be that workhorse? That's to be seen. It's going to be a great one. So, last time Alexandria and Anniston seniors played, it was in the gold championship game. Alexandria got the last laugh. Last time the juniors and Anniston and Alexandria played, it was in the gold playoffs. Alexandria got the last laugh. So, it's going to be a very, very great weekend at Alexandria. This is definitely a game you're going to want to be at. Jacksonville and Oxford. This is another really, really good, sneaky good game. And here's the thing with Oxford this year, guys. They don't have two teams. There's no Oxford A and Oxford B. It's just Oxford. They cut down to one team, of course, because of the addition of Cherokee County and Hokes Bluff. Jacksonville is really good. Got to give a shout out to Barrett Edwards. Katie Edwards, his mom, on East Alabama Now News tonight. But Barrett is a heck of a player for Jacksonville, and they're going to be really talented. Their junior team has one of the best running backs in the whole league in any team. Let's break down these two teams. Last year for Jacksonville sophomores, they went 6-0 in the division. Great season. Oxford had two teams. The B team went 4-2, and the A team went 3-3. Jacksonville won the gold championship. They beat Anniston 20-19. Oxford lost to Jacksonville in the gold playoffs. So how about that? For the juniors last year, Jacksonville, another great season for their juniors. They went 6-0 in division. Oxford A went 1-5. Oxford B went 0-6. Not a good year for Oxford juniors. Jacksonville won the gold championship. They beat Alexandria 26-6. And by the way, Jacksonville's juniors had like some ridiculous stats where they hadn't given up like more than 24 points all season long. Oxford lost to Montford 42-14 in the silver championship game. But I think Jacksonville juniors are going to be really good. Some of them are going to move up in their senior team. I think it's going to be even better. Last year, it was a good year for their senior team. They went 4-2 in division. Oxford A was 3-3. Oxford B went 1-5. Jacksonville lost in the gold playoffs to Anniston 38-6. Oxford lost in the gold playoffs to Alexandria 25-0. The scoreboard was cut off. But I want to keep an eye on Oxford this year, only having one team. I do think that's going to change things a little bit. I think Jacksonville will be good as they always have been. So keep an eye on them. All right, the final game this weekend in the large division is the Lincoln Golden Bears, and they are welcoming Hokes Bluff to Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics. Welcome in, Hokes Bluff. Sophomores will play at 9 a.m., juniors at 10:30, and seniors at 12 p.m. And Hokes Bluff's first game with Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics will be at home. Last year, Lincoln went 1-5 in the sophomore division. Hokes Bluff was not a part of the league. Lincoln won the silver championship, though, after their sophomores beat Alexandria 12-6 in overtime. For the juniors last season, Lincoln went 3-3 in division. Again, Hokes Bluff was not a part of the league, but Lincoln lost in the gold playoffs to Jacksonville 25-0. And for the senior group in 2023, Lincoln went 1-5 in division. Hokes Bluff was not a part of the league. Lincoln won the silver championship after beating Oxford 20-14. And the final team, Cherokee County. Welcome to Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics. Cherokee County, though, will have to wait a week before they get into action because they are off this week. They get the bye week, but they will be back in act, or they will start their season next week for Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics. Because of the numbers with the big schools, each team does get a bye week, and then the final week of the season will be a rivalry week where big and small doesn't matter, and a lot of teams are going to play, like Welborn and Anniston are going to play, Alexandria Ohatchee are going to play, a lot of rivalry games, but that is pretty much all of the action for this weekend for Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Hey, on the locker room tomorrow, we're going to have highlights of Oxford volleyball at home. They're hosting Alexandria and White Plains. 3 great teams. Oxford's still trying to keep that undefeated streak alive. We'll have highlights of those games tomorrow on the locker room. Other than that, Make sure to join Mike Stedham, Katie Edwards, John Holder on East Alabama Now News tonight. I'm Namath Pitts, and thank you for watching The Locker Room.